Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany, and welcome to another Sunday reset. Today, we are just jumping right in. I am outside working to kind of blow out some of the fallen leaves. The leaves are very quickly falling off of our trees, and although I love the color change, I do get sad when I see them all over my yard because that means soon they will be gone for the season. But I'm so glad you guys are here. Grab yourself a cozy drink and let's get into this fall Sunday reset. I'm on a mission to keep my mums alive this season, so I'm trying the soaking method. I'm filling up this large mixing bowl with water, and I'm coming out to soak the mum on my front porch. The ones by the fire pit got plenty of rain this week, but this one here was on the porch and covered. So I'm putting it here in the water, and I'm going to let that soak for about an hour or so and let it just drink up that water as much as it needs. Mums like a lot of water, so make sure that you're watering them regularly. I'm also going to take some time to clean out the car this morning. So we had gone on a quick overnight trip to Long Island for my father-in-law's interment. So we needed to get the car cleaned out because it had been a road trip, and then we had spent the entire next day in the car for sports. Saturday was insane. We had back-to-back sports. So this was time to get the car clean. So I'm going to take all of the chairs out. It had been raining at the prior games, so all of the cleats were covered in mud, so I needed to pound those out. I also needed to wash everybody's jerseys and just get everything ready for the new week. So that's what we're going to go ahead and get to doing. The transitional seasons always seem to be the busiest in our home. That's when we have the most sports, but as our kids are getting older now and they are just wanting to try all of the sports, we are probably going to have multiple sports seasons, and it's just going to continue to get busy. But I am loving this season of life. It is so much fun. And although every single day is jam-packed, I'm trying to just soak it all in. Today, I'm actually headed out with my daughter for her senior pictures. She is going to do some absolutely beautiful ones for dance, her and her point shoes. She also has her very first dance recital costume, and it just goes by so fast. I know that most of you out there are moms, and you comment on my videos all the time about how quickly it goes, and it's just amazing that, one day you're packing that first lunch for kindergarten, and all of a sudden it's just rapidly coming to an end. She has a job now, and she's gone all the time. So we're just trying to soak up every bit that we can of their childhood and not rush it, because man, it sure does rush all by itself. I recently picked up these super cute blankets from Target. One that's a football blanket, one that's a soccer blanket for the cool games, and I used them both this weekend because it was chilly for sure. And I'm just folding them back up, putting them in the bag with my other grocery bags. And depending on where you're shopping in New England, you have to bring your own bags. So I always keep them in the trunk. We're going to go ahead and move here to the middle of the car. This was probably the messiest from all of the snacks and everything happening in the car. There was so much time spent in the car this weekend. So going to go ahead and get all of the food and the shoes and the clothes and everything out. We'll vacuum everything out and it'll be ready to go for the new week. This new car that we recently picked up has black interior, which is different from any other car I've ever had. I've always had like a light gray. I love the black. It looks super sharp with the tan leather. However, you see every speck of dust in here, let me tell you. So I vacuum in here very regularly, probably 2 times a week or so, sometimes 3, depending on what we have going on. But Danny picked up this really great little handheld shop vac at Harbor Freight. It was only $30 and we keep it plugged in at all times. And I just grab it and vacuum really quickly. It's got great suction and it just does a really good job. I don't care what I'm vacuuming with it. If it's, grass or dirt or whatever, it does a great job vacuuming all of that up. So if you're in need of a little vacuum that you can have readily available for you in your garage, I'll link that for you down below. It's a really great little tool. I'm also going to take a second to just wipe things down with my interior car cleaner. I've talked about this before. I have a whole video on how we keep the cars clean, but this stuff is great just to wipe down. I do this maybe once a month or so. I don't do this very often, but I also have my dog in the car with me every morning to take her to my mother-in-law's before we go to school. And her little nose prints were all over the inside of the windows and all over the doors. So that's what I'm taking a second to clean off here. I'm also going to use a long tool to clean off the inside of the windshield, not just the outside of the windshield. And I'll link that for you down below as well. Moving inside, I'm going into the laundry room now, and it's time to start working on the massive amounts of laundry that we had going on. So I'm just going to hang up these clothes here that were drying. Danny folds them like this on the hangers so that they don't stretch out the sleeves, which is very appreciated because they are very heavy when you hang them when they're wet. So just going to fold this load, get the load switched over, and hang up anything that needs to dry. And then I'm going to toss in all of the blankets from our couch and get those clean. Our dog loves to lay in those, as do our kitty cats. So they do get kind of stinky from the animals. So just try to wash those about every other week or so. Next up, we're going to head out into the garage to do my weekly backpack deep cleaning. The boys have been doing a great job at keeping their backpacks clean every single day. I put it on their their daily chore list. So they do clean them out every single day, but I do a deep clean on the weekends just to make sure there's nothing missing and make sure that there's no leftover foods. I do have one kiddo, my son Ryan. He loves to just grab any leftover foods and stick them in his backpack for later. Yesterday I was helping him clean it out and he had some kind of cinnamon roll twist thing, and he said, "Do you think it's still good?" I said, "Buddy, it says keep frozen, so no." Like, he just brings them home because he thinks they're good, but then he never eats them because he comes home and has a snack, but forgets they're there, so I have to constantly clean it out. We also had this poncho from the day before. Like I said, it was raining at all of the football and soccer games, so we put it out to dry. I'm just going to go ahead and fold this back up, put it back in its little bag, and these are great to keep in your car for, rainy days and rainy games. I'm also going to take a second to Lysol Griffin's pads because they were stinky. He was so sweaty and there was so much rain, and I don't want there to be any kind of mold or bacteria or anything. I also have a bag of some shoes to drop off at the donation center, so I put those in my trunk as well. I'm going to go ahead and put that mum back into my crock here. It soaked up about, a third or so of the water, so that was great. It was actually a lot more moist than I thought it was when I put it in there. I had to step outside and appreciate just how gorgeous everything looks right now. Danny mowed the lawn today. He fertilized it the other day. It just looks amazing. Everything looks amazing. Come on, Charlie. Charlie. You ready to go back inside? You ready to go back inside? Let's go. Coming inside, the last thing I'm going to do this evening is go through our calendar, make sure that I have everything on here, make sure that I'm not forgetting anything. Every single day for us is jam-packed with sports, with senior activities, with our own after-school meetings and things like that. We had back-to-school nights this week for 3 of our kids and including my husband. So we had a lot going on. And so just going through the calendars, I went through my YouTube planner, take a look at what I had filmed, what I still needed to film, and got that all situated as well. And also made sure that things were updated in our Skylight calendar by using the Skylight app. So that was great. And now it was time to close down the house and rest before dinner at my mother-in-law's. I'm just turning on the lights here, going to turn off the big overhead lights. That's my son Ronan. He was making some chocolate chip cookies. He's really good. He follows my recipe, does a great job. And I'm going to grab my book and we're going to head out to the front porch for a little bit of evening relaxing. My kids were out riding their bikes. Danny was out working on the sprinklers with the lawn, and it was just a perfect fall evening. So although I'm suffering from the tremendous amount of pollen in the air, I have been loving the outdoors and this much cooler weather. It's just been so beautiful. Thank you guys so much for joining me for today's Sunday Reset. Hopefully you found some motivation to check a couple things off of your list today. And if you aren't subscribed, I would love to have you subscribe, come back for more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a beautiful week, my friends. See you soon.